go for a ride. Ready or not.
Hi to all my subscribers. My name is Jeffrey the Master Barber. Right now, I'm just doing a simple design on the client right now that you just asked me. This video is not so much about the design. This video is more about how I became a barber. In the meanwhile, I'm just gonna be doing a design and cutting this client's hair while I explain my story how I became a barber. Well, it started. I was probably like 10 years old. I grabbed the scissors that my mother had in the bathroom, and I cut my sister's hair. I chop it up. I did a boy's haircut. Still long haircuts at top and on the side, and I didn't did that bad. I still got pictures of that haircut, which my mother posted me the other day, and I was like, wow, I didn't even did that bad. I knew that I was destined for that. So yeah, and then we had a good laugh. But right from that moment, I knew that I was destined to be a barber. Believe it or not, cutting my sister's hair. Also, I got my butt whoop because obviously I cut my sister's hair. That was in the 80s, but she had an 80s haircut that I did with the scissors. So as the time passed by, then when we came from Puerto Rico to United States, then my mother, it was the one that it was cutting my hair, and she was giving me the basically I call it the Dumb and Dumber. Just like the tight zero with no blend in, and I didn't like it. I hated it. So I did. I grabbed some. I bought me some clippers, and I started, you know, doing the blend in on my own and whatnot, the most that I could. But then in the summer job, I have summer jobs, and when I did have my money, then I went to the barber shop. And when I went to the barber shop, I used to basically let everybody, all the clients pass, all the other clients, and I used to basically, you know, watch the barber cut hair before he cut my hair, watching the other barbers cut all the other clients, and I was just, you know, amazed how they did the designs or how they blend in, how they did the fade, even the shape up. So I was like, I'm just already doing the blend in and shape up on myself, but I want to do with others. So as time went by, you know, I was wild and young, and I didn't want to finish. I didn't finish the school. So what I did, basically, I went through different jobs, and as working, driving, taking people to the works and to factories, and I work in factories. I did all kinds of jobs since I could remember, and so then from there, I was never satisfied where what I was doing as work. But one thing for sure, when I used to go to the barbershop and get my haircut, I'm like, man, I could see myself doing this. It's nice, and the AC in the summer, and the heat in the winter, and deal with people, And so then I was like, you know what? I'ma still cut hair. I'ma start cutting some people's hair, and I'm gonna give it a try. But I didn't have no one, so I started basically with my brother. My brother didn't. He let me do his hair, so I started doing his hair, but he didn't like it one bit. And that's my little brother, so I didn't care. I would just want to someone to give me a try. So I keep practicing and doing it, and so then I found myself that I did want to finish school and whatnot. So I went and I heard about Job Corps, so I went to Job Corps, and then from there I thought that they were gonna have the classes for barbering, to cut hair. But then when I found out, when I got there, they didn't have no barbering school. So, and that was in '96. At that time, that's when the fade, that was, the fade always been in style since the '50s. But to me, the fade, like the real nice fade and with the razor blade, it was popular in my hood in Lawrence in that like 90, 94, 96 when Nas, that type of fade and whatnot. So I was I was not doing a fade like that, and but I was okay. I was just doing okay with the blade, doing the shape ups, and trying my best that I could. So then when I got there to I went to Maine. I was like 8 hours away, and there was no basically barbershop there that could do fade. They did the fade, but they didn't did it the way that I would normally do it myself. So when I got to the center, you know, I found myself there. Basically, I'd rather to do my own fade than let anybody else touch my hair. So I started doing my fade and then my shape ups and then my fade. And when my roommates they started seeing that I was like that I did it myself, they were like, "Oh, could you cut my hair?" So I start cutting the hair. Next thing you know, they were like, you're pretty good, and could you keep cutting my hair from now on? I was like, yeah, sure, and so I start cutting them and whatnot, and then I was still taking my classes. I took carpentry, which I got the certification for that. And in the meanwhile, when I get out from the when I get out from the class in the afternoon, when I go to my room, I have my roommates pretty much waiting for me every week already, and in exchange I just exchange it for like noodle soups and soda because they were already giving us an allowance. It was not a lot, but it was enough to buy foods, deodorants, and little things like that. So I used to exchange it for that, or if not, like charge like $5. So then every time I used to go out, people from all the dorms from the center asked me, "Oh, who cut you hair?" And I'm like, myself. They're like, "No way." And next thing you know, for the 2 years that I was there, I was just, I had my little clientele. It was nothing big or major, but it gave me the time to really to practice myself to what I really wanna do, even though they didn't have the trade. I didn't waste the time, so I decided to just continue studying, get the trade, finish with the trade, and in the meanwhile, at the same time, just cut the people's hair whenever they give me the chance. So then I finish. I start, got with my girl. Then we became commuters, and I start working carpentry. But once again, it was just like at the cold weather, and then in Maine it was so cold in the winter and whatnot. So and then I was out of the center, so I was basically back to reality, and I was like, nah, I don't see myself doing this for a long time. This is not my type. So we decided to basically go to Virginia to try it out to my sister's brother. But when we got there, we start working basically on factory job there, and they were paying minimum wage, and then I didn't see no one that really everybody there. It was with long hair, and no one really. I didn't see my potential of cutting anybody there. But I say, you know what? I see my potential at least getting a good pay on factory, but a good job on where I live. So I decided to go to back to my home in Lawrence, Mass. And when I got there, I started working in a factory, and from there, I became friends with a couple of people, and I started cutting the hair, and then I started cutting, you know, so and so, and then I cut one of the boss hair, and the boss was like, you got good talent. I don't want you to go away, but I could get you a connection with someone in a barbershop. I'm like, yeah, but I don't got no license. I don't got skill like that. It's like, yeah, still you got pretty good compared to other barbers that have license. So that kind of gave me some wins at that time. So I was like, whatever. And the he gave me the connect, the plug with a guy on 98 on the barbershop. It was on Broadway barbershop, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I could take you in and show me your skill." And I was like, "Okay." And I tell you, when I really when it's different when you cut in your house, or in your room, or in the garage, and you cutting someone that your boy. It's if you comfortable, you feel good. But when you cutting your boy, and then in front of other people in a barbershop for the first time, it's just a scary feeling at first. It's just like, you know what I mean. You want to impress, but at the same time, you know that you want to be the best that you can, but you know that you're not like completely. And that's how I felt. So I was like, I'm doing my best that I can, and whatever it is. So I did the haircut to my boy, and the boss of the barbershop was like, "Oh, when you can start working." I was like, "What?" When he told me that, the first thing that I was thinking myself, man, $10, $20 a haircut, so I'm gonna be making this much. And I was thinking already about the money. But it wasn't like that. So I was like, okay, it is what it is. So I start working, and I got my equipment, and that feeling of the first time cutting hair was like the best. So on the barbershop. So then I found myself that then the new people that came out from the door, they asked, and I'm like, I don't got. I used to study them. I'm like, I don't got time. I mean, I don't know how to cut hair with the scissors, or I don't know how to do that type of hair. And I put myself like down that I couldn't do it when I because I was afraid that and I didn't know, and I didn't want to know. I didn't want to mess it up. So I was basically in the back, and I was like, nah, you could go with him, and no, I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, I was putting excuses, and then I didn't kind of make. I was making the money that I was supposed to, because I was being afraid of basically to cut anybody, only the people that I thought that I think that I could cut. So then I went back to work. I work at the movie theaters, and then I saw that obviously back to the real life of work or hard work. It was not me, and I'm like, man, the barbershop, I do like it, but it's just that I'm afraid to cut anybody, and decisions. So, but then what really got me to go again to the barbershop, it was like, man, I'm making here like in the movie theaters like 200 $300 a week, and in the barbershop I could make probably 300 or 400 cash, and maybe more. But and I could probably make more, but if I allow myself not to be scared and take care of all the clients that they come out to the shop. So I was like, you know what, let's do it. So I went back. But when I went back to another barbershop that another person has told me. And then this person, he just finished opening his barbershop, and he introduced me, and I went, and he was just him by himself. And he told me he was a master barber. He was like, I'm a master barber. I'm gonna help you to get your license. I'm gonna help you to show you how to cut hair with the scissors. You know how to cut with scissors? I'm like, nah, I just know how to do fade and designs and whatnot. But that's about it. He's like, don't worry, I got you. So he used to charge me $150 a week, and but his barbershop was popping, and I was making probably like, after paying the barbershop chair and all that, I was still taking home clean like $400 or $500. For like $400 or $500. And I was like, that man, I'm liking this. So he wanted me to be there, open the barbershop, and stayed until late. And then he teach me how to cut with the scissors. And every time that he teach me with the scissors, and I grab it in a certain way, and whatever, he used to tell me, no, grab it like this in front of everybody. And I'm like, nah, I'm not liking this. And then plus he wanted me to pay 150 and open the barbershop and close the barbershop and take care of everything. And I was like, I was not I didn't want to do that. I was being negative at that time for that. So I decided to go to another barbershop, because I didn't like that. So in 2000. So I last from there from 98 to 2001 on that barbershop, and then from 2001 to 2006 I went to this other barbershop, and that's when actually the guy that just shake my hand, that was my that's the owner of the barbershop that I went. And he tell I start picking up right there. I start like blossom because I didn't have the pressure of him telling me how to do things or open the barbershop. Plus I was getting more equipped with everything, and my skills that were blooming. And then then I have my first I was gonna have my first son, so that kind of really pushed me to take the trade a little bit more serious. So as the time passed by, obviously I was still cutting hair with no license and whatnot. So one day, just like anybody of the barbershop could tell you, the inspector came a couple of times but didn't got me. But this time around, they got me, and they fined me. And then they fined me, and they fined the owner, they fined everybody. And at this point, I was making probably like 600-700 bucks after paying my chair. To me, that was still good. I was like, man, this is good. And now that I'm getting loving it, and I'm making it, and I'm making Klein, now I can't cut hair. I don't want to go back to my see. I don't see myself. So I decided to go. I found out that one of my the owner, that he was going to for his master, and that he was gonna open his barbershop. And he told me, he's like, you could go with me and find out what you have to do in order to get your license. So I was like, yeah, I'll go with you and find out what's going on. So I found out, I went legit, and I found out all the information. So I found out that I could go to Puerto Rico and get an apprentice and get a letter notarized. And once and that letter notarized, let them know that I work doing whatever I did for such a time and whatnot. And I did everything that I did. And so I got the letter notarized. I brought it back. I filled the application. Next thing you know, did the test. When you have to take one person and do the whole procedure. At that time, I was lucky enough that I had a friend of mine whose name is Jeffrey too, and he was going for his license, but he was going to blame. He paid like $10,000. So he let me use his book of the barbering school, and I read that back to from front to bottom, and I did all the steps and everything that is actually required, because compare the way that they require the barbering, compare how we cut hair, is nothing close to it. So I did, and when I did and I did everything, I went for it. Next thing you know, I passed the test. So then from 2006, and the owner passed the test too. He opened his barbershop in 2006. This one that I'm working right now, and October 23rd, 2006. And I start working there. And he told me, it's like, from 2 years from now, if you stay with me, and whenever you want to go for your master, I will sign for you, and you could go for your master. So I was like, all right, deal. So then when 2009 came, I went. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go for my master, but I'm gonna stay with you. Will you sign for it and tell me? And he did. So then I went for the master, which is the reading test and then the practical. And when I did, boom, I have my master. On 2009, I have my master. So at this point, I was just very happy, and people telling me, when you open your barbershop, but it's just like, me, I'm a loyal person, and especially when they have helped me, I just still with those people that help me. I don't bite the hand that feed me. So basically, I was comfortable there, and I'm being comfortable. So as the time went by, I went through ups and downs and whatnot, and my career in those time. But now it's blooming again, and even to this day, I still you know, finding ways to keep learning the trade. I watch other people's video and learning from other people, other barbers. I seen a lot since 2006 until now. Like that's almost 10 years in that barbershop. I seen a lot of barber comes and go, and I'm still there in the same corner doing what I can. And I mean, I came a long way. Everything that I said, it could have been more, but you know, everything that I did, it just finally, every time it did pay off then, and it paid now even more. Regardless if it didn't pay as much back then, but still, it is paying off right now, and it's still paid in, and clients like it, and now the clientele that I have is unbelievable. And now what I when I do the videos, it's just like I could reflect back. I wish I had someone that I could see and see. At that time they didn't have videos and YouTubes and nothing like that. And now I just want to give back to someone that maybe who's tired of the work and they want to learn the trade, the barber trade. I want to give that back. I want to, show them the how could they, by watching and seeing, just like me when I went to the first time to the barber shop and let past people and let my barber take all the clients. So I used to observe them and check. So now I could bring and give that freely, so that good person learn the trade. I hope that anybody understand and everything that I just said. And please just watch the video. If you want to learn, you could do it. If I did it, you could do it too. Subscribe to my channel, comment, share it, please. Thank you and have a great night.